in the bottom left as Nuru. We've not seen too many Nurus this tournament. We have Spacefront. Of course, just goes for the double swords at the start. And on the top right, we have SneakyDragon playing Sedge. So we've got the canonical fight of Nuru versus Sedge. Sedge, of course, betraying the Florin and attacking the Cherry Stone in the campaign. You know, spoiler alerts for the game that came out almost 2 years ago. And that's like 6 missions into the campaign or whatever. And we're just seeing, ooh, Commander goes center route. Makes sense. Sometimes you'll see them go up the sides, but no, they're both gonna go center. They keep going for the tower. He's gonna go for the aggressive. Move the commander down, or move the sword down. Capture here. Or possibly here. Going on that side does allow you to capture here, instead of going down here. Okay, goes from that side. But Spacefront can capture here. And he can get there before Sneaky can. But Sneaky could also capture there. It all depends on what this commander does. Because this commander can go here. You can wagon it across. Wagon openings are available to both players on this map. Of course, they do differ slightly. But we could see it come out. Ooh, he's gonna capture here. Is he gonna heal from this village? I think possibly gonna see wagon swords. Like a sword here for back capture. Oh, heals his commander to full. Interesting. He's just gonna walk across. Gets the dog out. Dog's gonna be extremely useful against these swords. You know, that slight difference in gold amount. Now what's Sneaky gonna do? Is Sneaky gonna heal and go for a wagon? Yes. Sneaky goes for the wagon. The question is, where are the captures gonna come next? Ooh, runs that sword there. Is he gonna move this sword back to go for the capture? He is. Consolidates his forces, realizes this commander threatens these villages a lot. Heals for 200 gold. And this is a far more economical play. Because this commander, by the time Nura reaches the front lines, she would have healed to 100% anyway. So that's like 50 gold, 75 gold potentially burned. Not the biggest of deals, but hey, like if you can get a slight edge on your opponent, you go for it. I'm getting called out in chat by Sedgehon for saying Sedge betrayed. Oh well, history is written by the winner, Sedge. So if you want to restore your honor, then I guess you're gonna have to just cheer for Spacefront. This is the match to decide who was actually right in the campaign. Not only is it the third place match, it is to decide if Nuru or Sedge were correct in their actions during the Wargroove campaign. They're just playing out the early turns. Nothing too different. I mean, like, you see the wagon come out and that is different. But he hasn't done anything with the wagon yet. This is still the opening. Like, there hasn't been any, like, real decisions made with this wagon. We're gonna see this capture. Ooh, just walks down. Interesting. This wagon is potentially going to be used for transporting... Ooh, maybe an archer? No, a spear. Okay. Both, of course, valid choices. Oh, the knight comes out. Right, that makes a lot of sense. Is he going to capture here? This is a difficult decision to make because you're potentially going to feed Wargroove if you go for that. Oh, he does. He just wants the econ lead for one turn. Yeah, we're going to see this sword come up and capture here. And that is the way the map will split in this nice... kind of... I almost like it's diagonal. It's not as diagonal as like you would maybe perhaps want to see. But that's where it becomes interesting. Because you can fight here to make it a horizontal front, or you can go up here to make it a more diagonal front, which means aggressive plays open up more. And they're realizing there's nothing to stop her from going down here just yet. Runs forward, of course. And we're going to see these forces consolidate. And Spacefront has a lot of gold, and he could just bank up more gold. Or he could do something like he could start building a balloon, getting some more balloon units out. You can see Harpy come out to deal with this knight, force a mage build, which would be quite nice. And I like this aggressive positioning on the sword. There's so much strength of Nuru here. And actually thinking about it, Nuru is a commander that would like to just bank. Oh, but she's going to build a golem. Never mind. I was going to say, like, having a bit of gold in her pocket is useful if she wants to build something more expensive, like a knight, or even like a ballista, potentially. I do believe you can make those on this map. So, what is Sneaky going to do in return? Can't contest this just yet. I mean, you could get a spear down there. You'd get a spear to this forest on this turn. And then you do stuff like run the sword forward, spear hits, and you go for the capture next turn. Okay, where's the spear going? Just gonna back Sedge up, actually. See, here's that little optimization that Sneaky Front had, which was because he didn't heal completely off of this village, and he bought his units first. Now he's at full health and didn't have to spend the gold for it. I love this knight position. He's gonna crit here, potentially crit here. Nuru can't really go for this village. She will die. Or, I say die, just eat a ton of damage. Gets a mage out, which is really useful for tempo. Slam Sedge into your opponent. You mage heal Sedge, and you're on full health, more or less, and your opponent is not. Now we see these swords come forward. And what's next? Dog comes out. Possibly a harpy. Possibly a balloon. On either side, actually. Not so much on this side, I don't think, but the defensive harpy might be nice here. There's a couple of good mountains to do crits from. Gets a balloon. Makes sense as well. Now Nuru doesn't really have the option to attack into this. And of course Sedge is going to be very threatening once his groove comes out. So what are you going to do? Like, Nuru moves back I guess he's gonna position to try and kill this. And also threaten the stronghold. Stays out of light crit range. But she wants to finish the game, or at least put herself at a big advantage before Sedge's groove comes out. Sedge has some scary options because of this wagon. Like, he can just wagon over to this village and kill it. And he'll have enough army on this side to defend while he does that. Like, sure, there's a golem coming up. But he should be okay for the moment. But that said, Knight comes out. That's going to really start putting a lot of pressure on this. Thief comes out as well. Ooh. I can go for these. If these are left open too much, they are very vulnerable to steals. And you could put a thief like here. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it could capture from this village, it could capture from this village. And damn, Spacefront's putting a lot of pressure. Like, he's not even really close to this yet. The pressure is already on. And what's he gonna do now? I think he has to do something. Ooh, he's going to be aggressive with Sedge. Gonna push forwards. Get more of his units in place. And I'm going to say it again, I'd love to see an archer come out. Just because it opens up more sides. You can threaten to kill this. Very difficult to attack into an archer held position. So the spear, double spear, much stronger than one spear. They benefit each other greatly. Moves the wagon into place to move spear forward. And he needs to keep these over on this side. He cannot abandon this side completely because the thief is going to come in and wreck his economy. So the knight comes out. Going for the knight approach. There's no spears and no harpies on this side. So these knights are going to threaten a lot of damage. Okay. And they're equal on income. They're both just like building up their forces, trying to figure out how to go forward. Spacefront's going to slowly put pressure on this side of the map. And this can just run up. He can get ready to threaten. And yeah, he's like even lining up to kill this village. So sword hit will come in and then Nuru will finish. And sure, you take some damage on one of your swords, but to build that much Nuru groove, which is at 40% right now, will be even closer after that. And then you threaten to even end the game, potentially. If she can't threaten to end the game, she could do something like build a mage, run in, kill one of these. Chuck a spear at her opponent. It's like 500 gold for a spear. Spears are pretty damn good. Thief goes into a position where it can capture both villages, and is also safely out of range of these swords. And yeah, Spacefront is now lining up his forces to deal with this. Gonna have a knight, gonna have a golem. Knight crit plus golem hit can kill a stronghold. And if I'm Spacefront, I'm honestly just gonna start banking gold. Going for cheap units, maybe some spears. And like offer the potential of even throwing a golem at my opponent on short notice. Because one golem is difficult to deal with, but if you have two, you can deal so much damage, and there's so little here to really deal with golems. Sedge is one of the main things. So you've got Sedge plus the mage shield is quite big. And you have knight crits. Golems are scary, especially when like they just appear in front of your face. possibly bank up for a golem. Obviously a very expensive play. And of course, thinking about counterplays to golems, like you have witches can be quite nice. Like you hex a bunch of stuff, and the golem takes 10%. Good. It allows you to control how much health it's on as well. You don't want a golem to get into a point where, ooh, it just immediately builds a dragon. Okay, so this is gonna really threaten these golems. Like this plus commander will absolutely kill a golem. This plus night crit will kill a golem. You do actually, it's like base 70. So base 63 on planes. Knight, how much do you do to a golem? 30. So this plus like a crit from a knight will always kill. And this plus a knight hit will drag it down to really low health worse. Like even a sword would finish it off. And of course, like the really cool thing about the dragon hitting first is that you don't eat that crit counter attack damage. Like you get it to like 30, in the 30s. If on a very low roll, you can get it to like 42 or something. That does allow you to control the health of the golem. What's Sneaky gonna do next? He needs to defend this side. So these actually need to be in a place where they can challenge. I'd actually really like to see this knight go over and threaten. Maybe run into this forest? Keeps out of range of this golem. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Doesn't crit this. But it's still close enough that it can run back if it needs to. Ooh, that's a very interesting play. He's just gonna straight up tank a hit from a golem if he stays there. Move Sedge into... Ooh. This is brave. He's gonna threaten to crit here. And he has enough on defense that he's still safe. None of this can run up and hit just yet. He's gonna take advantage of that to put counter pressure on. And I think these swords, like, you run them over here a bit more to cover, or at least one of them. Maybe run this sword to here. No, he's moving away. He's letting this thief go for the steal. He's gonna eat a 300 gold loss for it. Of course, if he does, then, you know, you can balloon the swords over onto it. Ooh, Spacefront's abandoning going for this capture. It was fairly safe. Like, you're only going to eat a knight hit and a dragon hit if you go there. And, like, even then, like, the mage would run in and counterattack. But this is a really big bait play. And the thief comes in. Sneaky is gonna be on 700 gold next turn. That's rough. I wonder if this will move up to like here to threaten to crit this. Is Sneaky gonna try and kill this golem? I'm very interested. I mean, something else he could do is he could run up the knight to cover the golem as well. Potentially crit anything that hits it. I'm so curious about this. Because you could dedicate a lot to try and kill this. You could throw like double sword crit at it, mage hit, and like sedge follow up. No, he's gonna move his knight to cover. You'll eat a knight crit if you try and go for this. Nuru's in range as well, but you know, you can only hit with Nuru or the knight, so obviously a little bit different. Interesting dog position, but okay, I guess Sneaky moving over to this side and baiting the hit on the knight will force Spacefront to come up. Oh, but if he... This sword is either gonna die... Oh, it's gonna run back. But this village is toast. Like, almost literally. Unless he builds like a harpy. And if he does build a harpy, he has to skip a barracks build, so I don't know if it's worth it. But he's just gonna give up this village. And I mean, he got a thief steal on this side, so... Maybe that's worth it, but... Alright, and we see spears come out. Yeah, Sneaky has the option to just be aggressive on this front. Just kill this. And this dragon's in more of a useful space than... Like, it can't really go to the middle because there's a mage there. Okay, it goes for the knight crit on the mage. Goes for it. Ooh, I like this because the mage is no longer going to be able to kill this balloon. And this thief is absolutely going to get surrounded. Anyway, he's just going to sack the knight, deal okay-ish damage to the mage. And what's going to come next? Like, I guess you move the knight in a position where it can crit. Oh, it moves this over here. Yeah, like the mages can't reach. It threatens the entire front line. He's just going to leave this village for now. And this is going to get surrounded, killed. Even got a dragon to back up on this front. So if stuff comes up to support, dragon will smack it back down. Ooh, but Spacefront has a lot of gold. 1355 at the start of your turn. Like, he was banking a little last turn. He's just gonna run this. Oh, this is a cute position. It won't die this turn. Even though it's like in a less safe position. And I guess you could jump, you could throw like a spear up on here maybe. Or it's going to be aggressive. We can do so from a mountain pretty safely. Oh, the sword moves up. And I guess you use this sword to finish the knight off. Right, uses that one instead. These can still threaten on this front if they want to. Like this position on the spear. Mage probably going to move up and heal from this village. Just to cover this side. And this will probably run back and heal. Yeah, both of them are looking like they're in good positions. Spacefront up a little. He did get a knight for only like a tiny bit of damage on 2 units. Ooh, and this witch is really nice because this is going to really cover this front from this dragon. Even heals the mage. Another mage come down potentially. Or you could heal the golem, and that I think is actually really important because a golem having slightly less health is actually like kind of a big deal, because like any chance your opponent has to kill it in 1 turn is worth it, or almost any chance I should say. Whereas like the harder you make that, the more likely it's going to be able to survive for a turn. And golems are just so threatening. So this turn's a little bit awkward because, oh, he can't build a mage anymore. And all of his anti-airs on the left hand side. So this can sweep down to this side, and you've got a balloon, so you can just run away. Yeah, Spacefront just wants to push up this flank. Where's this dragon going to go? This knight actually really should have been on there. Like, being able to just decap this would have been huge. No, he doesn't have that option anymore. And actually, you kind of just don't want to leave anything vulnerable to this dragon this turn. So this is probably going to run up to here. He's just going to completely abandon this side of the map. It does open plays like Sneaky could build his own thief to get ready to decap on this side. And yeah, there's like no option, like you can't throw a dragon into this because there's a witch to back up. There's a mage that covers this tile here, so yeah, here's a bunch of army. So Sneaky, this should have been more aggressively positioned to allow for decaps. You hit like this side and then 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, so you can't quite do it that way, but a sword could have run down there actually. And okay, he's gonna go for the hit. He's gonna have a weak sword, but well, the dragon's 1 tile away as well. That's painful. He's gonna move this into this forest tile here. And I guess this means that like the knight can finish this off next turn if he wants to. And yeah, someone in chat mentioning like neither of them have hit anything with their commanders this game. They've just been like playing a very it's been a game of footsies, right? Like, neither of them wants to let their opponent get into a position where they can hit things. I'm really curious what Sneaky's gonna do here. Ooh, he leaves 1 in? That's rare. You don't see that very often, but it makes sense. Like, if he dropped it, the weak sword would go up and finish it off. Edge looking a little bit vulnerable. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, he's in a night crit range. Oh, but this is such good positioning. The witch can't hex because of the village. He's maybe in a little bit of danger, but nah, he's actually pretty safe there. That's such good positioning from him. And yeah, oh, and this is gonna go down to threaten there, and I guess like spears are gonna finish this off next turn. And like even a sword for capture, so Sneaky's pushing down this side pretty well. And they're gonna trade villages. And it's gonna turn into a vertical formation on both sides. And this is honestly really good for both players because this is how you see matches progress. Like, you don't want to be stuck in a horizontal versus horizontal fight. You want to swing up and threaten your opponent's, even the barracks production. Like, you can threaten this. It doesn't make a huge amount of difference because they'll have a tower here, and like you'll eventually go for this capture. Especially if you hit here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Oh, that awkward gap. Awkward spacing on the villages means you can't just night crit to night crit. But it's fine. But yeah, Spacefront just has to like build enough down here to make sure the dragon just doesn't roast everything. And then he'll be fine. I like this position on the spear. Get a mage. Very important, because otherwise the dragon could hit this for free. And, you know, you don't want to like let your opponent have a free village. Where's this wagon? Nah, I can't reach anything. Ooh, and I just realized I was talking about spears hitting this village. This is beautifully set up for Sag to hit. He's gonna have 75% at the end of his next turn. No, can't hit anything. Her army is doing these captures, whereas like Sneaky's being careful to make sure his commander's the one doing the hitting of villages. And if you hit this village, the Sedge can actually run down and hit this one after. So Sneaky, he's got the forethought. He's thinking about his turns ahead of time. And I like this witch. Not only counter your opponent's witch, but the hex threat is such a big deal too. Because now all of a sudden, Nuru has 10% less health at all times, because this is always going to be in range of her for hex. She may even actually at this point have to back off, because I don't know if it will kill, but you're looking at dog suicide. Yeah, she had to back up a bit. Dog suicide does a bit, hex does a bit more. Sedge plus dragon? I don't know if that kills, but it's scary. Because you're talking about Nuru on... How much do you do? Like 20%? 14 average? So you're looking at like what, like a 75% Nuru? That's like high rolls on both counts. Maybe all 3 counts actually. Ooh, but now look at this. This is scary. Your opponent has a vertical front on their army. And the really scary thing about this is it's so hard to like punch through this, because you can only hit on like one front for a lot of this. You know, you can hex, which does a little bit, but not nearly enough. And like you need to use your dragon to open up holes, like nothing here is going to be able to get through, so it's scary. Anu is just threatening to hit the stronghold. Alright, so one thing Sneaky has going for him though is he has a turn. Nothing here can reach this turn. This village, okay, if Nuru takes this village down, she's going to have Groove, but Sedge's going to take this opportunity, build a bit of Groove. He's going to go for these captures. Capture this village with this sword if he wants to, which is obviously what he's going to go for. And he evens things out again. So how does Sneaky do this turn? Obviously put defensive units in good places. No anti-air can reach that dragon, so this is a very safe place to put it. Yeah, I think 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so Witch can't reach. Nice positioning on this dragon. Potentially could have put it here and had the Witch next to it. It would potentially eat a Witch hit in return, but that's only a regular Witch hit. It's not a Witch crit. And a Witch hit against a dragon is 40. So an annoying amount of damage to be sure, but not a lethal amount. And yeah, like he's just going to back up on this front. Builds an archer. This is a perfect time to have an archer. I mean, you could have had one earlier, but this is very useful because if any of this moves forward into archer range, suddenly swords and spears will die to an archer plus a dog. So you do not want to be near this. And if you put something there, a hex and an archer I think will even kill that. I believe so. It might be a dice roll actually. It might be like the 86 to 94 roll. Moves his wagon into position to keep the edge closer to the front. And yeah, Sneaky, he's on the defensive on this side, but I think he's fine for now. Spacefront needs to figure out a way to be more aggressive. And he can take out the tower. He can capture this next turn if he wants to. He can back up a bit. And they're both playing pretty quick, so they have time on the clock to actually play a longer game. They don't have to desperately push in. Nuru can wait. Got 28 minutes and turn 11. And this thief can come back and you can actually get your gold value in there, so obvious plays first, you always do them. Ooh, he's being aggressive with the knight. I would have gone for the tower and played a longer game. Because, like, Sneaky can't threaten to counter push. Like, of course he's, like, gonna threaten on this front. But I don't know, like, I think you need a spear on this as well, because this is gonna threaten to just run in and kill loads of stuff. Okay, this knight's pretty safe. Not gonna be too much that will threaten to kill it. But could have had the tower. And that's you 3 towers to the one here. And you don't really get too much of an advantage production wise because of that. Like, you're not gonna suddenly be churning out 3 harpies a turn, but it shuts down your opponent's options, and then like from there you can like take this barracks. Ooh, this is a nice harpy. Forces this knight to come back. Completely shuts down all the aggression here. Like, and this witch is not going to be able to threaten, especially when there's a mage nearby. So this knight has to run back now. So does Sedge, actually. But Sedge did get hit on a village, and he is ahead of Groove. And this is when archers start becoming more of a factor, because when Sedge gets Groove, archers open up targets for him to use Sedge Groove on. So all of a sudden, you don't even need to have units to follow up the archer. The archer runs in, Sedge runs in grooves, and can run out if he wants to. Or other units can start coming in. Dogs will hit swords for enough damage that Sedge will groove as a follow-up. So Sneaky, all he has to do is live long enough to see Sedge get groove. He has 5 turns till he gets groove. Unless he hits something, in which case it's even faster. But I don't know if he will. So he kind of just has to play defense. And look at his defense. He's got so many dogs against all of this sword. You know, you've got these mages as well. And there's some spears, but dogs do so well against that. And he's even got his own spears to do stuff. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dogs. And they're going to tear anything that comes near him. And yeah, like you can't put a thing here, you can't put a thing here. Because the archer will run up and hit. That'll be a ton of damage. Spacefront, he's in a really scary position. Because the scary thing about this knight is that it can crit from this side. And it can crit from behind if you can reach. But I don't think there's going to be a gap. Like this is going to be filled, I think. One of these tiles is going to be filled with something. And I think there's going to be something here as well. Possibly the wagon up here. Maybe even Sedge, actually. Ooh, very aggressive positioning on this golem. I think this is just a dead golem. Oh, and now Spacefront's doing the thing where... And this is where you have to be very careful, because ideally you only want to leave 1 or 2 units in your opponent's range for them to counterattack you. The more units you leave, the more all you're doing here is opening yourself up to getting like more of your stuff killed. Like if you're in a position where you're not attacking and you're putting your units in range of your opponent's army, then you are just potentially putting yourself in a place where you'll just eat damage. But he is forcing a conflict. Sneaky has to attack this turn. The only other option Sneaky has is if he like defends these 3 tiles on his stronghold, which he could. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the mage doesn't cover here or here. Alright, this mage does actually. But he could, in theory, defend 3 fronts of his stronghold. And then like wait another turn to build up even more army. Or he can go in and deal as much damage as he can. Alright, that makes sense. He can easily kill this with another spear. So he's gonna attack into this. And I think his golem's just dead. And not only that, I think he just hexes a lot of stuff here. Deal a ton of hex damage. Like he keeps Sedge back just long enough. And you try and like tear through as much of this army as you can. And you could potentially get this dog all the way in here. It could be done. Can it be done? Maybe, I don't know. Getting something into one of these 2 tiles is going to be really difficult. You can clear this golem though, like, and he kind of has to. And trading a dragon for a golem when like the golem's this far forward, like your opponent has to throw things into. Alright, goes for a hex. You're gonna be dragon? I mean, archer could come forward as well. Balloon moves forward, hits the golem. And like dragon plus anything will kill it at this point. Yeah, even a dog will do it at this point. Like you do 10. Alright, maybe not a dog actually. Oh, he's gonna use a dog. Gets the lowest roll possible, I think. And the golem lives. And that is so not what he wanted to have happen. A sword, he should have used a sword. A sword will do... Oh, actually no, do the same. Never mind. Oh no. Low rolls in chat, please. And he can throw, I mean, so he can't throw 2 heals on it. He can throw 1 mage heal down on it. But that's really not what you... He could have used a mage to kill it. Honestly. That would have been far more consistent. 25 damage. Like, you're throwing away a mage, but... Oh, that's so unlucky. And that's like... Even like an average roll, even above, even slightly below average, because the tile defense is basically gone when you're at 9%. So the dog hit would have been 10 average, plus and minus 5. So he did min roll that really hard, and he took 14% off the golem in return for that. And now the question is like, what do you do as Sneaky? I guess you just try and like build up as much of a force here as you can. I think he's going to eat a ton of damage though. But this is a very awkward thing to fight through. Yeah, just moves the rest of his... So Sneaky's being careful here. He's like making sure only the stuff he's really dedicated is going to die. And he's putting a lot of stuff behind. Oh, this could have been here and covered more with crits. Yeah, like, I mean, the annoying thing is like Spacefront now has to back stuff up. Otherwise it's gonna... And this was at the very least like kind of gold efficient, if nothing else. Ooh, and I love this position on the witch for the balloon actually, because now that's a wall. Like, you can't kill the balloon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so the mages could kill the balloon in theory. But you want them to kill the dragon, so... This isn't too bad. It's very awkward. He would have absolutely wanted this to die. Getting that lower roll really hurts. I mean, like, I guess like it has the advantage that if he runs back and heals, it will drain his gold for this turn. But do you even heal the golem right now? Do you just like walk it back? Like, you just don't even babysit it. Like, I would just play like it died and move it out of the way. Ooh, there comes the gold deposit. So 1,500 to play with. You could actually walk it back and heal it if you wanted to. Okay. Harpy hit comes in. Whatever, you go for an obvious play. There's no punish for this. The Harpy wants to run in and do damage. And next turn it can kill this village if it really wants to. Dragon comes out. Ooh, he's just threatening on all fronts now. He can't mage heal anything. So, or Hex. Wow, he's just completely forgoing that option. Alright, he's gonna heal it for a little bit. I mean, it can survive a dog hit again now, I guess. Or maybe the dog will high roll. Every turn Sedge is closer to Groove. And Nur is pretty close too, but... Actually, this is so awkward. Like, he can't kill this wagon. Isn't everything that will kill it in one hit? So if he wants to go forward, he has to kill this dog, and then he has to... What would you kill the dog with? Oh, this is so frustrating. And actually a really good follow-up to what was like looking like a pretty disastrous situation. I mean, I would probably maybe not even try to kill the dragon. Honestly, I would just go for the witch. Like, throw a mage, kill the witch. That's hex off the table. You don't have to worry. Because, like, a hex can kill the golem still. And this is, like, still a threat. Like, it can suicide into a commander and deal, like, relatively okay damage. Oh, he could probably suicide it into, like, a stronghold or something. Alright, he's gonna use Nuru to clear. You gonna like sword crit this? This is so awkward. I hadn't like really accounted for that. Alright, he's gonna try and clear a bunch of this anti-air up here. Hits this like with a sword or dog even. And like you can kill the witch or you can injure the dragon really badly. Right, you kill the witch. Oh, but you can't hit the dragon anymore. And a lot of this stuff up here is in counter. Oh, right, the knight can do it. Nice. Nothing can run around and hit it from another side, so it's okay for the moment. And I guess you capture here. Oh, do you capture here? Because Sedge could run in and hit it. And okay, that's the turn Sedge isn't hitting a unit, but that gives him Groove next turn. 1, 2, 3. We have a game. Do you dedicate more? This dog could run up and hit this sword. This sword, I mean, like, maybe the dog runs up and hits the dog instead, but... Alright, doesn't go for the capture. Realizes that if Sedge decaps it, he'll have Groove. Ooh, but Nuru has Groove now. And this is really complicated. And... I mean, there's a reason they're spending so much time on this turn. Alright, he's gonna run the dog in. Is he gonna run the sword in? Because the more difficult you can make it to clear through here, right, the better position you'll be in. These knights don't really threaten anything. This moves more stuff with reinforce. He's honestly just going to win this side. So, I mean, the Spacefront, if nothing else, he has a much bigger army left over. And... yeah, like, there's nothing really here that he can do. Like, he's got really good walls in place as well. Like, killing those 2 air units with these 2 mages is really worthwhile. He's got like another mage coming from the back. I think he's got only a slight econ lead, but his unit count is so far ahead. 7 unit difference. And like the question is, can Sneaky do 7 units worth of damage? And he possibly can, actually. He has enough dogs that he could tear through a lot of this. Like throw a mage heal on it just to keep it all safe. But this groove here is so threatening. And he doesn't have his own groove to respond. If he had groove... Oh, he's out of range though. He couldn't hit anything. I mean, if he had groove, he probably would have been more sensible to build a witch last turn. And he's got 25 minutes. He's going to think about this. We're going to be here for a little while. And he had like this dragon. Like this hits this. This dragon comes up and hits this village and threatens. Or even just roasts units. He's already got a big unit lead. Like, you kind of have to use this to clear this knight, because nothing else is going to deal with this knight. And that opens up sides to let you kill the mages. Or you could kill the spear with this dragon. Leave the knight and just like try and punch a hole through here. But I don't think that's good enough. It's kind of like entrancing. Look at the armies like all bob up and down when they're like this close together and there's so many units. Alright, he's gonna fly the dragon around. Mage probably gonna be used to finish that off. I think it's the only unit that will consistently do enough damage to the knight. 35, yeah. So I guess this walks back, hits the dog maybe? Or the mage. Or runs over here and does some damage, but... Alright, hits the dog. Mage finishes off. And yeah, now you can start opening up sides. Or you can actually kill the... If he goes for the dog next, that makes a lot of sense. And then, like, you can start... Ooh, spear comes in. Sword finishes. Alright, he's gonna open up another spear crit. Actually, if he spear crits this, weak sword can finish off. And then, like, I guess you're just gonna leave this dog alive. Yeah, so this weak sword can now finish this off. He probably really wishes he had a hex right now. This would be an amazing place to put hex. Like all of a sudden, like a high roll could potentially finish a dog. Actually, could it? 70? Oh, not really. Because it's got plains defense. But oh, he's gonna use the stronger sword for that. I wonder if he's gonna like throw this into this, just so he can have a good chance at killing it with another unit. Yep, 71. All right, that's gonna really like soften up. It does leave it alive for a dog crit potentially, and that's quite frustrating. But doesn't really have any other options. Knights are just gonna move into position. You could even see something like he captures this and then heals the wagon off of it just to create a wall for another turn. The dogs might have been too expensive to make that a viable thing though. And yeah, like I don't know if that's really going to work out too well. He killed 5 units. But he's about to lose like, he's going to lose like a whole bunch of villages. Maybe even more units, like this dragon's such a big threat. He does have a witch to deal with it. But yeah. Gonna heal the wagon. I mean, it's still gonna die from the spears next turn. It does force the spears to be used on it though. So he had that going for him. He pulls back his more heavy hitting units for another turn. He really wants to keep enough stuff alive after this next counterattack, because this is dead. Oh wait, he has to summon a mage to kill this, otherwise like it'll be fine. But that honestly is a pretty good choice. You finish this off, you just like deal a bunch of damage over here. This dog, I don't know if he just forgot about it, but... oh, he's gonna kill the dog. Alright, he's just gonna go for unit count. I mean, you can safely hit this village with the harpy. And this means this witch can't reach that. So, more econ is good. Nope, he's just gonna put it in combat range, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it can help clear knights, so... Spacefront, he's not even gonna go for like econ at all, he's just gonna go for the throat. He's gonna try and deal as much damage as he can this turn and go for a win. He needs to unclutter this a bit though. Like his army is in an awkward position. But you know, you can clear a dragon with like a summoned mage, and that's pretty dang good. And yeah, this spear is gonna come around here. Even hex first, potentially. Goes for the dog crit instead first. Ooh, could see a sword. Yeah, he's gonna finish it with a sword instead. That means he's gonna do like a non-spear hit on something? Or non-spear... a non-crit spear hit, I should say, sorry. Ooh, nice night crit actually. And now the spear can come in, try and help clear the dog. Follow up with like a sword even. And yeah, you just like walk Nuru back, summon a mage, kill the dragon. Yep. Sword's gonna finish off. You're just going for as much army damage as you can get. Dog kills a village. Dang. Not every day you see one of those. There's an 8-unit lead right now. And that's just going to increase. You can kill dragon if he really wants to. And he can put the commander safely back. So that's probably what we're going to see. Probably going to see summon mage, double sword, heal this with like whatever gold you have left. And that even opens up like the sword hitting this sword, or even the sword going hitting the mage. Oh, yeah, he's just gonna keep going forward, doing more damage. Alright. I knew I would have put her a bit further back, but this also works. Bye bye bye, dragon. And then you've got the sword, and it's gonna come in and kill the. He's gonna injure the mage at least. Double dog by. He's now 12 units ahead. Yeah, he's just gonna injure this mage. And that's so good, because that mage can no longer, you know, mage crit this to kill it. I think Nero could be a bit further back, but I don't know if there's enough here to punch through the remainder of this army. If Sedge had grooved this turn, I could actually see him doing enough damage, but he was just a little bit too late to get it. If this village had been captured, for example, earlier, Sedge could have done that. Oh, and everything's coming forward now. And yeah, like you could just bring this forward a little bit. He's just gonna leave it back. Can't get Hex back there as well, so. And if you're a SneakyDragon, I take it you just gotta go for damage. Damage and hope. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you could clear a path in, he could like hit Nuru once. That's not really a strong statement. Like, what's he got? He's got a Hex. He's got like a mage heal. 2 mage heals if he really needs them. I guess he could, like, in theory, kill this knight, but how'd you kill this spear? I guess like dog crit maybe? This could move up and kill and like really injure this. Or like hit the mage for a little bit of damage. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But you do have a knight crit lined up on it. So then how do you get through this like endless amount of spears? I mean, like you just want to go for like a big crit, a big chain of dog crits. Like this onto this, for example. And then you try and clear this. Like, Hex is going to be very useful here, but he has to make sure he does it right. But even with all that said, there's so much army here. There's so much. Alright, so he's going to go for the first dog crit. I guess like an archer crit? Alright, yeah. That'll do it. Probably should use the archer first, but I think he was saving it just in case of the high roll. Ooh, that's a nice crit. And now all of a sudden... Can you finish this off? On a high roll. Alright, he's going to Hex to just make it guaranteed. So, sword can finish off at this point. Uses the dog? I actually think this can kill this. It goes for that. Oh yeah, it's the dog crit, so it'll do it. I mean, he's gonna try and fight his way out of this. He's gonna suicide. Alright, I mean that opens up stuff. Can Sedge finish off? Sedge can finish off. Alright, sword crit. Might as well. Does like pretty good damage, so. Oh, and gonna finish off. Alright, so he's just gonna try and pick off units where he can. Ooh, very aggressive move from Sedge. But he can keep clearing. He can get a sword crit on this, and that should finish, or he could get a sword crit on this spear. Keep trying to kill as much as he can. Regular sword hit. Weakens it to the point where, you know, gonna start seeing SNSQWUXJ be available next turn. But I think he might just be dead at this point. I think there's enough here to finish off. He even has a hex available. And even after all that, Sneaky, he's still behind by like 4 units. And when you're ending your turn behind on units, that's not a place you want to be. Oh, and he can even steal? Oh, wow. So the punishment's just going to keep coming in. Like he's going to be... it's like 300 gold, and then like another 100 gold he won't get at the start of his turn, so it's like 400 gold less because of this thief. And there's like so many unit suicides available here as well. Like you could suicide spear crit. Suicide dog, potentially. Oh, this is annoying, it gets in the way. Well, actually, even though he's behind in units, like, he did a lot of damage to these units. But I think you just like plow through your opponent. Like Spacefront just goes and he hits a bunch of stuff. And just kills things, like moves his commander back even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that won't reach. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2. Right, so the dragon won't reach either. But dragon can like annihilate any dog. Could kill the mage because it's on a road. This isn't going to catch it. And you just go for huge army damage this turn. Could even see stuff like... Nah, that dog won't do it. But the spear will absolutely kill this. So... I mean, Spacefront is beginning to get low on time, so 12 minutes on the clock. Alright, I think he might just go for lethal here though. Depending. I mean, he could actually just be setting up to spear crit a bunch of stuff. Ooh. That looks like a lethal move to me. I mean, is it? Or is he just trying to do a lot of damage? Like, this could kill the sword in this river. I'm honestly very confused. Right, Hex comes down. Alright, he's just gonna try and go for damage here. I guess dog finishes off. Yep. So is this gonna kill the sword? Or is this gonna kill the commander? Suicide comes in. Is it like dog suicide? Even just going for like a regular golem? Yep, 72. Oh, I did like barely anything, but... Oh no, dragon's here. Yeah, Nuru can finish off. Yep. And Tanky spots it in chat, and so does Spacefront in the game. Dragon's in range. And the whole healing the golem thing was just a misdirect. So, well played. The Spacefront goes up and is now 1-1.